to the OMG hour.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to episode number 353 of the OMG Hour. It is January 10th, 2020. And of course, I am one of your hosts, Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I am Tico, Mr. Second Place, here for another year.
2020, Tico. It's like, this is the future. This is the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's actually the present, but, you know.
We're actually getting to the point where a lot of the movies we grew up in that portrayed the future, we've already passed. You know, and it's like, yeah, that's not the future. It really dates those future movies, you know.
Like Back to the Future, the future section.
2015, of course.
Yeah, that's been long gone now.
I believe, was it November or December 2019 is Blade Runner?
Yeah, so here's a story just to put that into perspective. I was looking through some of the new shows, and I saw a show, the new show Dracula on Netflix.
Yes,
and it was listed on the spot I was looking at as Dracula, and to differentiate it was Dracula 2020 to differentiate it. It's this year because there have been other shows called Dracula before.
Sure, yep.
And I thought in my head, oh, there's a show about a futuristic Dracula called Dracula 2020, and then I realized
that's not future, Tico.
That's not the future. We've hit that, and it's like stuff like all those old shows used to be like, you know, like the comic books, Batman 2099, and all like we've hit Spider-Man
29. Thank you. I was going to say that was Marvel.
Yeah,
I loved the 2099 comics, but it's like, you know,
getting close.
I mean, those were the 90s when they came out with the 2099 stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, so here we are, living in the future, our first show of 2020. And we're going to spend this episode looking forward to this year and kind of what's coming and what are we looking forward to. But first, I want to take a really quick peek backwards and talk about,
Okay, you don't mean behind me.
Not physically. No. I know you got new shelves, so
I did get new shelves.
I want to talk about a little bit. You know, what did we do over the holidays? We talked on our previous show, our Game of the Year Awards show. We talked about what we're planning to do. So did we actually do that? And I kind of did, because I got from two of my daughters. I got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for PS4.
Yes, such a good game.
And so it was my two daughters who are currently in college, and I loved how they wrapped it up and said, to Dad from your two broke college kids. I thought it was great. You know, they didn't have to say who it was. So I've been playing that. I've been really enjoying it. I will say, however, as great as that game is, Tico, I don't think it's changing my mind yet as to what my Game of the Year was. I think I still really like The Outer Worlds better.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I spent so much time playing Outer Worlds. I played it twice. I actually want to play it again. I enjoyed it so much. Whereas with Jedi Fallen Order, I'm enjoying it, but I can only take so much of it before I'm like, I think I'm just done for now. It's one of those games where I cannot play it for hours on end, but I did with The Outer Worlds.
I played the full game in about 3 or 4 days. Basically, I hopped on and I played, and then I hopped on and I played, and I hopped on and played. Like, I did not really take breaks in between for anything.
And I get it. It is a fantastic game. It is absolutely wonderful, and I really hope they continue with single-player Star Wars games of this caliber.
I think that's moreover what I absolutely loved is that we finally got some a single player story
Battlefront type thing,
it looks fantastic the way Battlefront did, but it gives you that single player story that you really wanted in that, and not just like
Right.
a whole bunch of stuff where I'm going to get killed
Now,
by 12-year-olds.
again, like I said, beautiful game. I am enjoying it, and I'm enjoying actually going back to the different planets. I kind of wish there were more planets. I'll be honest with you, but
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
once
there's
you get
only
your Zelda style, like I've got my boomerang, now I can go back and access
yeah.
this area, sort of thing.
Yeah. So last night I went back to Bogano, which is the starting planet, and
Yeah,
completed it 100%.
yeah,
There's nothing left to find. It's explored. Check. Uh, chests. Check. Secrets. Check. Done. Okay, let's move on to Dathomir. You know, but yeah, I do enjoy that going back now that I've got all the abilities
yeah.
and getting to those areas I couldn't get to before. So I do enjoy that. But yeah, I don't think it's yet unseating my game of the year. You know, I'm saying all that just to say that. Um, Dorothy and I have been spending, well, we spent pretty much almost all Christmas just looking at all the Philips Hue stuff. We started looking at smart lights, which you've talked about in the
Yes.
past. I finally did it here in the theater because I did it actually because one, I wanted it, sure, I thought it was cool, but it was more of a practical thing for us because this is the basement of the house that's been fully furnished, you know, and this is my theater. But the only light switch for this room is up those stairs, at the top of the stairs, behind the door. Okay, so when Dorothy and I come down here, we tend to come down, and while we're eating dinner together, we'll watch TV. Right? We get down, we sit
Yeah.
down, we get prepared, we turn the TV on, and we're like, "Oh crap, the lights are on. Somebody's got to go up, you know, up the stairs, shut them down, and come back down in the dark," sort of thing. The Google Lights, the Hue lights are perfect for that because we can not only can I turn everything on and off with a voice, but I can actually set scenes. So while we're eating, I can actually tell it we're eating, and it will turn off all the lights except the one light above the couch, and it will dim it down to like a candle light, so we can still see what we're
Your
eating.
food.
We can still see what we're eating while we're eating and still watch TV.
Yeah.
So to me, that's awesome because even here, although I have everything on, I can actually turn on just the lights above this desk if I want to, which I think is fantastic because I can set up zones, right?
Yeah, you can set up zones. You can set up different scenes for
Yeah.
stuff. Like you can actually set verbal voice because, like we have for our living. It's like, okay, Google, it's movie time, and I probably
Right.
just set mine off now by saying the whole thing. And it shuts.
We've gotten into the habit of just saying "oh gee" when we're explaining it.
Yeah, and it sets the lights down to like to 25% in the theater room and says get the popcorn ready, and like it sets that.
Oh yeah,
mine.
Yeah, because you could tell it to actually say something, so mine actually comes back with "bon appetit, enjoy the show."
Yeah. Which is great. Leah loves it because we've got like the color lamps out in that room too. So Leah will sit there. She'll be playing one of her games, and she'll just decide that she wants to have the room in like draped in red. And
right.
I mean, it's creepy at times when you walk in there, and it's just her in this like deep red room. But
yeah, like okay, Google, turn the lights to red.
Yeah,
and then there we go. There's the red lights. Okay, Google, change the lights to chartreuse. Oh, there it is. Whatever color that is. Oh, it's like a greeny yellow. So yeah, you can, okay, Google, normal lights. And I think it's great. You can just play with them and set up the different zones and all that.
Yeah, and we've actually got the motion sensor on our hallway lights because every time somebody gets up to go to the bathroom, the lights at the end of the hallway away from the bedrooms.
Yes.
So this way you don't like as soon as you walk in, it'll kick that light off. So we know. And the other thing it does too is it kicks it off if Leah tries to sneak out of her room.
Of course, we put Philips Hue strip lights under the counters, under the cupboards in the kitchen, so it shine at sunset. It'll come on, and then after 9 p.m. it'll dim to a candle light. And we did the same thing. You suggested the motion sensor.
Yeah.
So there's a motion sensor in the kitchen, so that at night, if you walk in, it'll actually turn those counter lights up full bright while you're there, and like 2 minutes later, just go back to a dim state.
Dims them down.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have that. We have our porch light and our driveway light as well as hue light. So
that's what I did anyway. I mean, that's not gaming, but still, it's cool geeky stuff, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm actually very, very surprised how much my wife is enjoying it too. Like she's not like, no, we don't need more. She's like, well, what else can we do? I'm like, if you're feeling that way, let's just keep going.
Yeah, well, I played through. I decided, I'm bored. I'm just going to pick something that's been sitting sort of my pile of shame that I've maybe started and not done anything with. So I grabbed the original Wolfenstein, The New Order.
Oh, okay.
It was sitting there. I'm like, I've played through this a little bit, but not much. I'm going to restart it from scratch. And so
Okay.
I played through the entire game.
Is
I
that
beat
because
the
you
game.
didn't? Is that because you didn't get all the achievements?
No, I still don't have all the no, but I played through to a certain point, and then it was just it came out, then something else came out, and then I just like it's one of those things where something else comes out, and you sort of get sidetracked, and then it's like you you forget to go back to it. And I'm like, I'm gonna start from scratch because it's hard to go back halfway through a game.
It is. It is. I've got a couple of games like that. Greedfall, which I really liked. I talked
Yeah.
about a few months ago.
And
Because of
you
other
forget,
things, I just haven't gone back to it.
and you forget how to do so. So I started from scratch, and I played through start to finish that entire game.
Nice.
Finished the game, and I'm like, well, okay, I've got the Old Blood as well, which is like the part sequel.
Nice.
Like,
Yep.
I finished that. Like, well, now I've gone through those two. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Finished that.
Wow, you're just on a Wolfenstein cleanse,
I went
aren't
through
you?
the entire Xbox One list because I went and finished Youngblood as well, which is the newest one.
Wow.
So I've played through 4 full Wolfenstein games. So I have killed my share of Nazis over the holiday season.
Well, you need that, especially in today's age.
Yeah. The thing I like about those games is they are really
Nazi killers.
Well, no, they're basic games. Like you don't have to pay full attention, so you can do that while watching TV. It's like I like listen. There's a guy there.
I don't know how you do that at all. How do you play a game while you're watching? I mean, sure, you can play a game while you're watching TV, but you're not actually watching TV.
Oh, no. My brain can focus on the two things at once. I can do that. It is a weird thing my brain does.
I'm shaking my head at you for the podcast listeners.
Yes, my brain can do that. I can watch TV. I can play games at the same time and do both. Just so long as it's not like a full focus thing. Like if it's a game that requires you to like pay attention to cutscenes and stuff like that, then no, then it's a lot more difficult to do. But for a game that's
it's not the game, it's the how do you play a game and yet actually know what's going on the TV without watching and without actually listening.
I have it angled so I can see both TVs.
You're crazy. Anyway,
fully aware.
Let's talk about more crazy stuff. There is a crazy list of games coming out in 2020. It's not even complete, but I've got a list here of 118 games, and that is only through May of this year. We don't, of course, have releases for a lot of stuff yet. But, lots and lots of games on the schedule to be released for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and for Stadia. And no surprise, Stadia has I think 4 games listed, 6 games listed here for coming out on Stadia. I don't think Stadia is quite doing as well as Google would hope it would.
No, and all of the games that I'm looking at your list here, the Stadia games are all stuff that are launching
with PS4 and Xbox,
with everything else as well. So there's there's no exclusives.
No, that's it, right?
Yeah, looking through this list again, I'm going to look primarily at the Xbox list because that's my jam.
That's your jam.
Journeys to the Savage Planet does look fun.
What is that?
It is. I think it's coming to Game Pass. It is because I got this one originally confused with the Outer Worlds quite a bit because they have a similar sort of cartoony type planet explorer look.
Okay.
And I believe it's and I don't know exactly, so I'd have to I'm waiting for this to come out, but it is similar to a No Man's Sky but way cartoonier.
Oh, okay.
So you're exploring planets and finding things on these planets I'm not sure exactly what you do or how there's a storyline attached, but it looks very, very visually compelling.
So that's January 28th.
Yeah,
so that's on both PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah, but I believe it is part of the Game Pass
so that's
library.
Good. That's excellent.
So you can try it out on your Game Pass, which I know you have now, and then if you love it, then you can play it on your PlayStation.
Or just play it on Xbox. So I'm looking down here. I think the first one in the list that intrigues me the most Looking down, it's like end of February with Iron Man VR, which
Oh
is
no,
coming out.
you skipped over the Zombie Army 4.
Yeah, yes, I know. Iron Man VR. I mean, it's not top of my list, but it sounds interesting. It's an actual VR game where you are Iron Man.
You're in the
So
suit.
you're in the suit. So that's going to be interesting. That's February 28th.
Yep.
But then we've got the Final Fantasy VII remake on March 3rd, and that's only PS4, right? From the looks of this,
It is a PS4, from what I remember hearing, a PS4
one year
timed
exclusive, I think.
I don't know how long the exclusive is. I don't think anybody's announced the length of the exclusivity. I believe.
Okay, I thought I had seen 1 year.
There's a good chance, but because all the Final Fantasy stuff is coming to Game Pass as well.
Well, they want to make their money on it first.
Yeah, so they're going to make their money on it, and then it'll probably join Game Pass after the year.
March 20th is Animal Crossing New Horizons, which my daughter Aria bought herself a Switch Lite, so she's looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to it. I have enjoyed every Animal Crossing since the first one on GameCube. So I am an Animal Crossing fan. So,
oddly enough, I've never played one.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I have never played Animal Crossing of any sort.
I'm going to assume Doom Eternal is up your alley.
Yeah, I mean it's like killing, space Nazis basically. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Doom series. I've played. I mean they've recently had them all come back out. The originals, and I played through some of those just for fun. Doom Eternal and Doom 64 is actually they're remastering, or not remastering. They're just coming out with on the consoles again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I like the Doom storyline. It is exceptionally bloody, exceptionally violent, but it is just a run and gun shooter.
If I go back a little bit into February 14th, on Valentine's Day, Darksiders Genesis.
Yes,
you're a Darksiders fan, aren't you?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because this is not the same style. This is a top-down sort of Diablo style Darksiders, which has gotten good reviews.
I mean, it's Diablo style. They always do well, right? Those kind of games.
I believe they're actually making a board game based off of this as well.
Well, we should be checking that out.
Maybe we will.
But it is interesting that there's really nothing coming in January. Like, I mean, I guess this is normal, right? I mean,
this is like let people's bank accounts recuperate a little bit from Christmas.
Yeah. So let's see. We go in March. We've got Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I'm on top of. I will be playing that for sure.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing New Horizons on the 20th. Doom Eternal also on the 20th. And then we get into April, and we've got, of course, Cyberpunk 2077 on April 16th.
Yes.
Really, really looking forward to that. I have a suspicion that is the game that I will be purchasing for Heartbreak Ridge for being the highest donor for my Extra Life campaign last year. He donated a considerable amount, so let me tell you, and so he's
earned himself.
Yes, he has earned himself the prize of any game he chooses, purchased by me personally.
Well, I am looking forward to Cyberpunk. Actually, April looks like, looking at the list here. Resident Evil 3. I actually did just start playing Resident Evil 2 as well, and it looks fantastic. Resident Evil 3 has piqued my interest now because of having played 2. Cyberpunk, absolutely.
Oh,
the Predator Hunting Grounds, I've actually seen some stuff on that, and it looks pretty cool too.
That looks like PS4 exclusive as well.
Yeah, I've seen some.
So you won't be playing that.
I mean, I'll come over to your house and play it. I don't know. Gears Tactics.
Gears Tactics. That looks interesting.
It does. I'm a fan of like the Halo Wars, so I'm hoping that Gears Tactics is going to be.
Isn't Gears Tactics more like an XCOM?
Yeah. XCOM and the Halo Wars, like the troop movements and battle movements, stuff like that.
Right,
so
Halo Wars is a real time strategy.
Right. Yeah. So I meant the.
It's XCOM.
The XCOM stuff. Yeah. So
I love XCOM, and if Gears Tactics plays like that, then I will enjoy that as well.
Yeah, it looks fun. Oh, and then in May, we have May 9th.
The Fast and Furious Crossroads. My gosh.
PS2 Game of the Year. Oh wait, yeah.
Right. Okay, so I think we talked about. Did we talk about this when we were talking about the Game Awards? I don't know if we did.
Because they announced an award and showed off the trailer, the world exclusive trailer for this
and it
Fast
looked
and the Furious
like you said,
Crossroads game that looks like
it's horrible.
PS2.
It looks like a PS2 game. What? I hope that was like. I don't know with it coming out in May, but I hope that was like some kind of an alpha build because that looked horrible.
It did look terrible.
Now the game itself looked interesting. Actually playing a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
But the graphics looked horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like, in no way am I like anticipating this. I'm not looking forward to this. Shannon's birthday's in May. She's not getting a copy for her birthday.
What?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, I don't know if she upsets me. Maybe that's what she'll get for her birthday.
You monster.
Yes, but on the 15th,
we have oh yes, Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah,
I am going to be honest with you. I am having a little bit of trouble with this game. I still don't really understand what the gameplay is going to be, but I mean, yes, I'm interested in this game, but it's not like super high on my list, and I'll tell you why. The problem I'm having with it is we are so inundated with the MCU movies that seeing the Avengers who look different than the MCU actors and have different voices completely really throws me off.
It does, because it has a realistic look as opposed to like a cartoony or comic book look. It has a realistic look, and that's the one thing that's bothering me about it as well, is it does take me out of it because it feels like a cheap knockoff version of the Avengers because of that. Like that's not Thor, that's not Tony Stark. Like
exactly. That is my biggest issue with it. That is really throwing me off from that game. Yeah, I honestly wish, and I get why they didn't. I mean, some of the, like, Robert Downey Jr., so he'd have to be paid over the top. But if they had just gotten those actors to voice the characters, I think it would have been huge. But also, it's not an MCU game. I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Listen, I'm not saying they should have. I'm saying it just throws me off because for 10 years, we've seen these characters as actors.
And it is hard. It's like when they change out an actor in a movie too. It's like, well, we're not using this guy anymore. Now it's going to be this guy, and it's hard to watch, like, with a new actor in that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't even sound similar.
No. Like,
they're not even close enough.
They didn't even get like impersonators to do the voices.
Exactly.
All right.
They got Nolan and the Nolan Jr. guy. I can never remember his name.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. Okay. There is a game at the end of May that is super popular. Everybody's waiting for it, and I'm on the outside thinking, I don't get it. I don't understand the huge appeal. The Last of Us Part 2 comes out in May 29th. And I'm like, I don't get the hype for The Last of Us.
All right. Did you play the last one? The First of Us, or whatever they call it. The Last of Us Part 1.
Yes, I did. I didn't finish it. Because it's just, I'm like, okay, it's all right. I don't get it.
I think what it is the first one came out when Sony's list of exclusives was very limited.
It was, end of the PS3 life cycle.
Yeah, so it came out when it was like, it was, and again, it looked fantastic. But I mean, I think a lot of people really like when you have a PS3 and then that's a system you've chosen. That was the game. That was what you're waiting for, because you're waiting for these exclusives as to justify your purchase. And this came out, and it was a good game. But I mean, same thing. I have played a little bit of it. I'm not super excited about this.
I know. I'm not dying for this game to come out at all. So I get it's popular. I just don't get the hype for it. That's all I'm saying. It's just not. It wasn't something I ever really got into.
Well, with the number of other games that they've got coming out and the number of other exclusives they've got coming out, I don't know if this is one that's gonna, really.
No, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, from some of the gameplay they showed with the stealth aspects, it looks cool. So maybe it'll play different than the first. Maybe it'll be a different kind of story. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. So now we're in sort of the unknown territory. These are games that have been announced. We have no title, no dates for them. But the ones that really stick out for me, and now we need to move on quickly because
Yes.
we got a bunch of things planned for today. But the ones that really stick out for me is Bravely Default 2. I love Bravely Default and Bravely Default the second. Bravely Default 2, I will be playing that, and that's coming out for the Switch. The other games were on the 3DS.
Yeah.
And then we go down. We've got the Dark Pictures Anthology, the sequel. It's part 2, actually.
Part
That's
2, part
Little,
3 of the trilogy.
Yeah, that's called Little Hope. So Ari and I need to finish the first one.
Yeah.
And going down the list, we've got the Ghosts of Tsushima. Oh my gosh, Tico. This is the game I cannot wait for.
That looks fantastic.
I've been waiting for that game since it was announced. As soon as they announced it, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the game. It beautiful looking. I love the way I love the way it seems to play. I haven't played it obviously, but wow, cannot wait for Ghost of Tsushima. They were giving away over the Christmas holidays a free Ghost of Tsushima theme for the PS4.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's a static image of the character in the background with all the trees, but then there's just leaves kind of floating around. It's just that gorgeous scene. Oh wow, it's so good. Anyway.
Yeah. Gods and Monsters looks really fun.
Which one is that?
That's the Ubisoft one.
Yes. Okay.
Looks a little. It looks a little Zelda-like, but in the Greek pantheon sort of.
Right. But yes, yeah, like the Wind Waker style graphics.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Halo Infinite, that'll be coming out with the Xbox Series X. While we're mentioning it, I did read today that the Xbox Series X games will be playable on Xbox One.
Well, see, that's nice.
So not only is the system backwards compatible, but all games released they're taking the PC mentality with the Xbox. Yeah, you have a much more powerful system, so you're going to be able to play the games with better graphics, with all the bells and whistles, surround lighting, all that ray tracing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if you're playing on an Xbox One, then it just downgrades the game like you would if you're playing on a less powerful PC. And so that's the step that Microsoft's going with Xbox is, here's your more powerful device. This is the recent. But if you still have an Xbox One, you can still buy Halo Infinite and play it. It's just going to be, you're not going to get the best graphics.
It's not going to look as pretty.
Right. Just like if you're playing on an old PC.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I think that's going to be like all 9 episodes.
All 9 movies in one Lego game. I'm a Lego person, you know that. I will play that. It will be fun. Planet Coaster, the console.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, you want to play Planet Coaster?
Okay, but this is really well done. It's like a really good roller coaster tycoon, roller coaster simulator type game.
But I don't know, man.
Because
Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm going to tell you right now, Microsoft Flight Sim has been announced.
Yes.
And that looks unbelievably realistic. I cannot wait.
Yeah, and that's Game Pass.
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. That'll also be Game Pass. That looks unbelievably incredible.
Sports Story, Sean. This is Golf Story. If you recall, Golf Story that came out for the Switch.
Yeah, this is.
It is an RPG. It's an RPG sports story. It's the same idea there.
And if I go way down the list, we've got Watch Dogs Legion.
Yes.
That I am looking forward to. And I think that pretty much sums up what we know of this year right now. There's not a huge list of stuff that I'm super excited for.
Like there's some stuff, and there's going to be more stuff that's going to slide in there as we go through some of the the game awards and shows and E3s and all of that stuff. They'll be like, hey, and now there's this.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to be like excited about that. There hasn't been an Assassin's Creed leak anytime recently.
There has. They leaked Ragnarok. Whether or not that's the name or not, who knows?
But we'll get more of a leak later.
Yeah, they'll announce it coming probably March or so. They'll announce what it actually is. Yeah, looking forward to that. I should really go back and finish Odyssey.
Oh,
But
you should.
yeah, I've got a bunch of games I want to go back and finish. But let's start a new game, shall we?
All right,
So,
let's do it, Sean.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we, of course, as you know, we went to PAX Unplugged, and we've been getting a semi-steady stream of new board games sent to us for review, which is pretty awesome. And we were sent a game called Adventure Games. It's by Cosmos. It's called Adventure Games, and we have one here called The Dungeon. And what this game is, which we talked about it on our PAX East show, but this is basically like a point-and-click adventure as a board game.
Yeah, in a box.
In a box. Point-and-click adventure in a box. But you know what? We thought, wouldn't it be great if we played the game as a weekly segment right here on the show, little bits at a time. And what we'd like to do, we would like you to participate. So each week, as we discover new items or discover a new area, you can talk to us on either our Facebook page or on Twitter, and say, this is what I want you to do next. Check this out, or go to that room, or if we've got multiple rooms open, tell us where you'd like us to go check, and we'll do it. If that's what you want us to do next, you play along, and you can help us out, because the game is going to be like combining items to make a new item, or combining one item with a location to get something. So we are actually going to play this game right here live on the show every week, and I have to prepare. I forgot to get the actual helper app.
The atmosphere ready.
Yes.
Prepare the atmosphere for this.
Um,
the whole idea is we're gonna sort of play through this live. We're gonna show as much of the game as we can on screen, so you can follow along. As much of the cards Sean will be prepping without spoiling it for us.
Yes.
He'll be prepping stuff so we can sort of show you what everything looks like and what the rooms are going through. And we're just gonna really play through the experience. So there are spoilers. So if this is a game that you are interested in playing yourself, we will ruin the whole thing for you.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because here's what we're planning. We're planning to play this over the year. We're only going to play little snippets each week. It's just going to be a segment. We're not playing through the whole game. So every week we will continue the adventure. And this adventure is called D.E.A.D because we are now members of the Dungeon Explorers Adventuring Department. And this is who we are, and we are delving into a dungeon. So, Tico, if you don't mind, I think I will start the game.
All right.
And I guess I should probably turn off Do Not Disturb if we actually want to hear it.
Yeah, it helps.
So let me do that. Yes, I didn't realize that Do Not Disturb would actually affect playing the game. Give me 1 second. All right. Is it playing? 100. It's still not playing, Tico. Wonder why.
Your eyes wide open.
Oh, here we go.
You wake up from an uneasy sleep and search around in the dark. Your eyes wide open. You still have goosebumps all over your body. Weren't you just walking through a torchlit stone passageway? And then there was a noise? Or was it a scream? That's what woke you. Now all is quiet again. Almost. For you can hear a sound. Too quiet to pinpoint its location, yet loud enough to be disconcerting. How did I even end up here? You ask yourself. Trying to remember makes your head hurt, though, so you decide to take a look around you first. In the moonlight streaming in through the barred window, you slowly begin to make out details. You're lying on the stone floor of a dirty cell. A dungeon? You quickly look back to the window. Indeed, it's barricaded with solid iron bars. Feeling apprehensive, you take another look around. You can make out several shapeless shadows on the floor. Yellowish light flickers under the door, probably from a torch on the other side. There! Didn't one of those shadows just move? It's another human. Then you hear a voice. Where am I? What happened? This is followed by a groan. It sounds like someone else can't remember either. The voice sounds familiar, but your head starts to hurt again when you try and think who it might be. Slowly but surely, the others begin to wake up. You can't remember anything, but one name remains clear in your foggy brain. Berengar. He was is a friend. Maybe he's locked up somewhere within these walls too. You resolve to find out what happened to you, who imprisoned you here, and above all, how to escape this dungeon. Take mission card A1. Read entry A on page 2.
Okay, so we do have mission card A1 ready, and it
Okay.
is simply, our mission is to escape. You want nothing more than to escape this dark dungeon. And we listen
As you look
to
around
A.
the cell, a huge locked wooden door, 101, with several scratches in it, 201, immediately catches your eye. In front of it, there is a grating in the floor, 401. On the bunk, you see a box, 701, and beneath it, something may be hidden in the shadows, 601. A brick juts out of the wall to your left, 501, while a skeleton, clad in heavy iron chains, hangs to your right, 301. Moonlight floods into the cell through a barred window, 801.
All right. So this,
All right, what do we want to look at first here, Sean?
This is our introduction. So for those listening, if you didn't quite get the gist, we're literally in a locked dungeon, and there are several items in the room. There's a bar, there's a skeleton hanging on the wall, there's a door, there's a scratch on the door, there's a grate in the floor, there is a brick jutting out from the wall, there is a bed with a book on it, and there is something under the bed.
Potentially.
So, Tico, you are going to be the yellow character here on the screen.
All right.
All right. And I am going to be the red character here on the screen. Okay. So,
right.
Tico, we have to escape.
All right.
What would you like to do first?
I would like to look at the book on the bed.
Oh, you're going to go over and sit on the bed, are you?
Yes.
All right. All right. Let's find out. 701.
On the bunk is a small metal box. Unfortunately, it's locked, and there's no keyhole. At first glance, you can't see a way to open it.
Okay, so that's actually a box, not a book.
Oh, I thought it was a book.
All right.
Well.
So, let's see. Should I investigate what's under the bed, perhaps? Maybe the key is got thrown under the bed?
I think there's a monster under there.
Well, hope not. All right. So, let's check out 601.
You reach under the bunk and feel something small and metallic in the dark. Take adventure card 13.
Ooh, I got something.
You
Okay.
got something. It's a metal rat.
It's a metal rat. So I'm going to look in the box, and I'm going to take card number 13 without actually looking at what's on any of these cards. Tico, I found a key. I found a key. So it's a small bronze key. Do you think it goes with the box?
Well, it did say there was no keyhole in the box.
Oh, did it actually say that?
Yeah, it said it was. You can't. There's no discernible way to open it, is what it said. It didn't just say there was no key for the lock. It just said it's just.
All right, so we have a bronze key in our possession.
Yes.
And for those of you following along, next week I will scan the key and it will be on screen so we can remember what we've got.
Assuming we haven't lost it by then.
Assuming we haven't lost it. So we have a bronze key.
Put that in your pocket, Sean.
All right.
Put that right in your pocket now.
We have 2 minutes left, Tico, on today's adventure.
Okay.
Well, let's do
501. I want to open up that. I want that brick.
Oh, you're going to check out the brick? All right. Well, let's move you on over to 501 and check out what that is.
Who knows what the loose brick might be useful for? Take adventure card 10.
All right.
Real quick, I want to use the brick on the
Hang
box.
on, it's my turn.
Okay.
You can't take. So yes, you found a brick.
Okay.
All right. It is an old brick with a hole in its center. So we have a bronze key and a brick. Well, and if we are trying to get out, I'm going to check out the barred window because the image here looks like it's broken.
Yeah, I think we might actually be able to yank that thing off and use it with the hole in the brick now. Make a hammer.
Oh,
Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer. All right, so that is 801. All right, this will be our last move for today.
All right.
I am checking out the barred window.
The bunk creaks as you stand on it to examine the window. The bars are too close together to squeeze through. When you rattle them, you notice that one of the iron bars is loose, though. Take adventure card 11.
Well, we've got something else, Tico. Adventure card 11
All right.
is a solid iron bar.
Let's see if we can combine 10 and 11 before we call it a day.
All right, 10 and 11. So in order to combine them, we take cards 10 and 11 and we put them in order from lowest number to highest number. So it would be 1011, and we look that up. 1011.
The iron bar fits in the hole in the brick almost perfectly. This makeshift hammer will surely have some power behind it. Return adventure cards 10 and 11 to the box and take adventure card 12.
Dude, you made a hammer.
Thor's hammer.
You are a genius. I didn't even think of that. That's a good idea.
Well, that's why would there be a hole in the brick unless we could make a hammer?
We have a makeshift hammer. Did you build this all by yourself? All right, so there's where we end up today's adventure of D.E.A.D, the Dungeon Explorer's adventuring department. We have a bronze key and a makeshift hammer, and we are still trying to escape this dungeon.
All right, so we've checked out 601, 501, and 801 so far. So there's still we have to do something with that box at 701. There's the grate at 401, the skeleton at 301, the door at 101, and the scratches on the door at 201. So give us your thoughts as to what you think we should tackle next week.
That's right. I wonder what the hammer is going to be good for.
Smash open that box. We're going to smash open that box.
You want to smash the box open? All right.
I'm going to hit something with that. Just saying.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's fun. We're going to do a little segment just like that every week. And throughout the next year, we will get through the story of the dungeon.
The slowest spoilers ever.
That's right. All right, let's move on to television and movies. Of course, we did not get a chance to talk about the new Star Wars film, which we've both seen a couple of times now. I have not seen it my requisite 5 times in the theater, and I'm very upset about that. But spoiler-free, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. I know it's getting like mixed reviews, but I think that's the state of Star Wars these days.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where, and again, we're also much older than when we saw the originals. The originals hold a certain, a certain something for us that, is sort of untouchable in a way. Whereas now, whenever the new ones come out, it's like, well, is that where I saw it going? And so maybe
and the way I'm like, it's like, I honestly went into this having zero idea where it was going. So I was perfectly fine with the story. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Was I super excited and joyful about the way it ended? Maybe not, but I still think it was a fantastic movie. And I'm happy.
Yeah, I still really enjoyed it. There's bits and pieces that I will critique and stuff like that of the film. There's bits and pieces of things that happened. Some choices and stuff that happened that I will critique, like randomly Dominic Monaghan. I'll just put that out there and just say that felt weird to me. And I'll just put that out there for anybody who's seen it. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it yet, it is still a great movie, and it is befitting, as a Star Wars movie.
I think the biggest issue with this, these last 3 stories is, unfortunately, Disney did not enter this trilogy with an outline of the story. That's the problem. I think that is the problem. They didn't say, okay, here's the story we want to tell.
Yeah.
Beginning, middle, end. And then let's bring in writers to tell that story.
No, it's a too many cooks situation, I think.
Absolutely. They came in, they said, okay, JJ, write the first one. And then they said, Rian Johnson, write the second one. Go wherever you want. It's like, that's not the way it should be. There should have been an outline for all 3 films.
The movies did feel like the 3 movies, when you put them together, felt a little bit like a game of telephone.
Yes,
where like the vision it started with, well, I don't like that vision. I'm gonna steer it in this direction, and it's like, no, we're trying to get back to where we were,
right?
And it feels a little bit like that, as opposed to a cohesive trilogy that it should have been.
Agreed, absolutely agree. And I think that's the biggest problem. Like MCU, the Marvel, they know where they're going. They have a plan, right? And it paid off. There should have been a plan going into this trilogy. back in
Yeah.
2014
They
when they
needed one
started.
guy. They need the Kevin Feige, one guy's
Dave
vision for the
Filoni.
whole.
They need Dave Filoni to just manage it all.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next piece, did you finish the Mandalorian?
Oh my gosh, yes. I watched that like day and as soon as it dropped, we were watching it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I absolutely
Unbelievable.
loved the spaghetti western feel to the whole thing. The start, and it gets not too spoilery, but the start of episode 8 with the 2 scout troopers.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Just shooting at the can and not being able to hit it was just, I love the little bits whenever they show the stormtroopers having casual moments.
Just making them real people.
Yeah, like the casual moments of, like the people on the bridge, the people like the people who are part of this thing, the casual moments I find absolutely fantastic. And the fact that these 2 scout troopers are sitting there and they're waiting for orders and they're just shooting at cans and they can't hit them. They're looking at their guns like
it's the gun's fault. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just perpetuates the stormtroopers can't shoot thing, but in such a funny way. And I absolutely love the beginning of that. It was really well done, and I very, very much enjoyed that whole series. Jon Favreau did a fantastic job of.
I cannot wait for season 2.
Telling that, yeah.
I will tell you that I think Cara Dune is one of my new all-time favorite Star Wars characters.
She's fantastic.
Like I hope she's in it again in season 2.
Yeah, for
like,
somebody who started
Cara
out.
Dune.
Yeah, for somebody who started out as a UFC fighter. Turned actress, she does a pretty good job.
Oh my gosh, she's fantastic. Cara Dune is just like, bring her back, you know, bring her back, because I think the 2 of them together are unstoppable. It's just a fantastic duo, the Mandalorian and Cara Dune. Like, wow, just keep it going.
Yeah, it was very, very enjoyable. And then another series popped up over the holidays. And this was not a wait for it to come out. This was one of those fully bingeable Netflix shows, The Witcher.
Oh my gosh, yes. The Witcher came out. Dorothy and I started watching it. I was giddy with excitement the first episode. I'm like, holy crap. Henry Cavill is killing it as Geralt of Rivia.
He has done such a good job that the author of the books has now said that Henry Cavill is the Witcher. He is Geralt of Rivia. He is the what personifies the character that he wrote. That's what the author of the books has said. This is it.
I cannot explain how giddy I was. Like I was a kid watching Star Wars for the first time, watching The Witcher. My wife didn't like it. She was like, "Man, whatever." So I continued watching it myself. My gosh, that show is so perfect.
It is really well done. I know one of the things that a lot of people have criticized is the jumping storylines.
Okay, here's the thing. I've been reading that, and as I'm watching, I go, okay, I see what you're saying, but then when you actually look at the timeline, they're not jumping storylines at all. At all. Okay?
No.
So there are 3 storylines going on. Okay? There's Geralt's storyline, there's Yennefer's storyline, and there's Ciri's storyline. Okay? Ciri's storyline starts in episode 1, which is sort of like the present. But then what it does, so think of Ciri's storyline from beginning at first episode 1 to the final episode as the last part of the story. Okay, it's from present. You're kind of watching real time, but every scene with Geralt or every scene with Yennefer is happening in sequential order, but it starts 30 years in the past.
Right, and I think that's what. And now that they've told those origins, and now that they've gotten to that point, the season 2 will not have that.
No, there will be no. It'll all be from this point forward because the season ends at the present. Okay.
Yeah.
But they talked about the jumping timeline. It's not jumping timelines. It's telling 3 distinct stories that have a different time span.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it that way. It's a different time span, not a different timeline. Geralt and Yennefer's storyline starts 30 years ago and works its way up to the present. Whereas Ciri's storyline simply starts like a week ago and ends up in the present.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love the whole thing. Honestly, I had so much fun with that. Just like little bits, even like the song, the toss a coin to your Witcher song is so
That
bloody
is
catchy.
as soon as they see episode 2,
Yeah,
when I'm going to call him Jaskier, who is Dandelion in the games.
in the game. Yeah,
The bard, he writes the song. He's an actual singer. This guy who plays him too, wrote the song, and they ended the episode with that song. I'm like, my gosh, that's a catchy tune. And the next thing
Yep.
you know, it's being redone on YouTube everywhere. Everyone's doing
Yeah.
metal covers and
It's
redos. And
it's in Beat Saber. They added it to Beat Saber as one of the songs.
somebody added it as a mod to the original Witcher so that you can actually watch Dandelion play it in one of the bars, one of the taverns.
Yeah, it is such a good show. The fight choreography is Yennefer's transformation from the humpbacked peasant girl to
Yes.
the powerful witch.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We know from the games is absolutely fantastic. The
actually
character building.
I didn't know that about her.
No, neither did I. And I love that we're seeing the story from the books told, because I've
Right.
really only played 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So I'm loving that we're seeing the stories from the books getting being told this way, and really excited because there are tons of books in this series too.
Oh, yeah.
So it means that this can go on for a while.
Oh yeah. I will say, my only real disappointment, and this isn't like oh, I hate it because my only real disappointment.
Wait, can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah, you may guess. What is my disappointment?
That they made Triss not a redhead.
Exactly. Triss is not a redhead in the show. Like, come on. She's got the freckles. She's got the curly hair, but she's not a redhead. What?
Yeah. She was such a distinct character in the games.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like it took me. Oh wait, I know why is she not?
Why is she not a redhead? What's going on? Come on, it's Triss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted her to be a redhead, and I'm like, oh, she's like a dark hair. Like, come on. I'm wondering if the books don't describe her as a redhead.
Yeah, she's probably this is more to the books, so
It
she's
is,
probably not.
It has nothing to do with the games. Like, the show is the books, not the games. But it also shows you how close the games were to the books too, right? Because they're very similar.
Yeah, you see a lot of like some of the fights and some of the creatures and stuff like that they showcase, and
yeah.
Just Geralt himself and Roach.
Yes, Geralt and Roach. It's, oh my gosh, what a great show! I just can't get over how absolutely perfectly that Henry Cavill embodies Geralt of Rivia. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah,
and it really deserves a rewatch now that you understand. Apparently, as you're watching through it, you're seeing events in the past that were touched on in like episode 1, and like you kind of see an episode 1 and then 2, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Yennefer's storyline starts even further back than Geralt's.
Yes.
Right. So there's a story where Geralt saves this. I don't want to spoil anything, but he saves a cursed princess. And there's a reason why she's cursed. But then in a storyline like an episode or 2 later in Yennefer's timeline, you see hints of that happening before it happened.
Yeah.
Right. That's where people were talking about timelines change, but it's not. It's a single time period that's just, they're not happening at the same time. Is really all it is.
You're seeing bits of the same storyline throughout the 8 episodes,
throughout,
and it's
3 different story time frames
as they converge to
exactly.
Yeah.
My gosh. So we've got 7 minutes left, Tico, to talk about what we're looking forward to up and coming. I know the couple shows just started back again. So the Superstore and The Good Place, last half of The Good Place, last half of this final season just started. There's like 7 episodes left. I'm very upset that it's ending, but I do understand it's going to be a satisfying ending. So that just started.
Yeah, I've watched the first episode so far. It was very fun. Timothy Olyphant guest stars in it.
Please don't spoil anything. I have not watched it yet.
I've just said Timothy Olyphant guest stars in it. That's it.
Yeah, but there's supposed to be some cameo that is a surprise, so I don't want to know anything.
Oh, okay. I knew about it before. I didn't realize that may have not be a spoiler because I saw that ahead of time on Twitter and stuff
But
as well.
Twitter is spoiler verse. So
Spoils things. Oh.
January 1st, you talked about Dracula. Dracula started.
Yes.
I couldn't get into it. I started watching it. Dorothy and I shut it off like 20, 30 minutes in.
Well, it's a 3-episode, 90-minute episodes.
Was that all it is?
Yeah, it's sort of like a Sherlock Holmes type. It's like it's 3 episodes and then that's it. And then so it is a and this is the one that I thought was Dracula 2020 was a futuristic. It is set like in the 1800s. It tells a story. I know you'd said, oh well, they spoil it right away because this thing happens, but that's all resolved within the first hour.
The whole thing seemed really weird. It seemed really weird.
It was weird. I'm gonna watch the other 2. I've only watched the first episode so far, but I'm gonna watch the full thing because it's only another, hour.
That's a Netflix show, so you can check that out on Netflix.
Yep.
My family, Dorothy, myself, and Sydney. Of course, Sydney's my daughter who's studying to be a police officer. We're watching FBI, and mostly because my daughter absolutely loves the main character. I can't think of her name offhand.
Missy Peregrine?
Missy Peregrine, thank you. She loves Missy Peregrine ever since Rookie Blue.
Yeah.
We've all been fans of her since Rookie Blue. So we started watching FBI, and last year there was an episode that we're watching it, and it was like this team that came in to find, America's Most Wanted type people, and I'm like, this feels like a backdoor pilot for us. Sure enough, FBI Most Wanted is that show. So that started just a couple days ago, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. It still feels it's that procedural show. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Dick Wolf show. I think FBI is Dick Wolf, who produces like a lot of these procedurals.
Yeah, he's the Law and Order guy.
Yeah, and FBI Most Wanted, it feels like FBI, but also very different from your typical FBI, because FBI takes place just in New York, whereas FBI Most Wanted, they're flying all over the place to different places because people are on the run and they're trying to track them down and get into their minds, and so they've got profilers, and it's totally up my wife's alley because she loves things like Criminal Minds, which is essentially the same thing, right?
Yeah. I really enjoyed the new episode. There's a few of these that they're taking these existing new properties. 911 is getting a spin-off, Texas.
Yeah, I don't even know what 911 is. I've never watched it.
Oh, it's basically
911?
911. It's the 911 operators plus the fire department and police and rescue and all of that. It's actually pretty good.
I am not a huge procedural watcher. I will watch a few procedurals, like a cop show here and there, like FBI, but mostly I love the serials. I love the long, drawn-out stories. I just love that. I guess that comes from my days of reading comics, because that's just you always want
to see where the storyline's going.
I want to see long storylines. I don't want to just one and done episodes. Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist also premiered on January 7th. And this is a musical, like a la Glee, for example. But this is a woman who...
Jane Levy.
Jane Levy, who's in it. And she's the main character, Zoe, who gets this power to hear the innermost thoughts of the people around her, but played out in song and dance.
Yeah.
And it's actually so funny, but also very much full of heart. This is what I was saying to Dorothy afterwards. What I like about this is we enjoyed Glee, but this is sort of like take Glee, but actually give it heart. Like give it a meaning. Give it like this superpower, we're calling it, of hers. She's going to be using it to actually help people because she's hearing what they're actually thinking, and
their innermost thoughts and problems, and it seems like she's going to be solving somebody's issue every week and solving and helping because it's almost like there's been stuff like this, like God Friended Me, shows like this where like somebody gets an insight as to somebody's problem that they have to help or save.
Or iZombie.
I Zombie. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one a few years back about a guy who got tomorrow's newspaper tossed under his door every morning, and he'd have to go and see something that was in there that we'd have to solve. That
True
sort
Calling.
of thing.
True Calling was very similar. She would help the
Yeah.
ghosts. I here's what's weird. So I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. It had some really great heart. And it premiered January 7th, but then it said Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist coming February 16th or something. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, so they had an open spot on their schedule, and
they played it, and now it's not actually starting for another month.
That happens sometimes. Is they have an open spot, they want to get people excited about it and build the hype. I'm a big fan of Jean Levy ever since Suburgatory that she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was in the first season of Castle Rock.
Yeah,
that's where I know her from.
Okay, she was also in the first season of Shameless, Evil Dead movie, the most recent remake. She's
seen any of those.
Yeah, she's a good young actress.
She's a redhead.
And a redhead. So there you go.
So bonus points.
It was fun, and they even they poke fun. There's spots where it breaks out into full song and dance.
Oh yeah.
In the episode, and it pokes fun at musicals that happens in musicals. They poke fun at that fact. Like she's like, why is this happening this way? It feels.
There was one. She's hearing the innermost thoughts of a rival. And so he starts singing, and then they start dancing, and there's an interlude. She says, "Oh, now we're doing an interlude, are we? Okay.
Yeah, oh, great, a dance break."
Right, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That was very much fun. The next one here is one that I'm actually looking forward to as well. I'm pretty sure you might have some mild interest in it.
Maybe a little bit. Star Trek Picard.
Yes.
January 23rd, 2 weeks away. I am so stoked for this show. The trailers look amazing.
What is that? Is that that's ABC?
CBS.
CB. It's one of the 3-letter ones.
It's CBS All Access.
Okay. Is it dropping the whole season at once, or is it week to week?
No, it's week to week, just like Voyager.
Okay.
Discovery. So I'm really, that looks amazing. When Patrick Stewart announced it, he said his only stipulation for coming back to play Picard was to do a Star Trek show that has never been done before, and it really does look like that's what they're doing. He's not a captain anymore, he's not even in Starfleet anymore, but he still goes on some sort of an unsanctioned adventure to help this girl that finds him. So it really does feel like this is great. This is we're going to see characters we haven't seen in 30 years, but he's going out on an adventure, and it's not Starfleet. Okay, this is cool. I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm looking for that's only a few weeks away.
Lock and Key is coming to Netflix on February 7th. I know you're a fan of Lock and Key.
I'm a big fan of this. This is Joe Hill. It is a graphic novel written by Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King.
Oh, okay.
And so he's written this graphic novel. It is sort of gothic feel to it. It is the Locke house. Which is the last name, which is why it's written with an E of the family. And there's these keys that all have different types of powers. It's almost like the Infinity Stones, but keys.
Okay, and they open up doors?
And they open up different doors. One will open up a door, and if you step through that door, your spirit leaves your body.
Okay, so it's like doors to other realms and stuff.
To other realms. There's one key that opens. It's a mind key, I think it's called, and it can open up the back of somebody's head so you can see their innermost thoughts.
The mind key. Do they have the power key?
I can't remember what they're all.
Key?
I cannot remember what all the keys are called.
How about the space key?
There is probably one of those, but it is really the graphic novel is really well done. It's absolutely fantastic.
And let me guess, somebody has to build the key gauntlet.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of keys poking out the end. The trailer for this it looks very, very well done.
It does look good. I'm actually very excited based on the trailer. I knew nothing about Lock and Key at all, but that trailer actually makes me very excited for it.
Well, you should learn more, Sean.
Absolutely want to learn more. And then finally, February 7th on Apple TV Plus is Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, and that is produced by Ubisoft Television. So
yes,
this is
the
it's a story
the-
of a development team basically creating a game, an MMO.
yeah. And this is, if I recall correctly, this is Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Rob McElhenney who are involved with this.
Maybe I know Danny Pudi is in it from Community.
Yeah, so they've got quite a few people. This does look fun. We actually saw this at E3 last year. They showed a trailer.
I think so. Yeah.
Which we were like wondering why they showed that at E3, but I guess it sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll see how that is.
I'm looking forward to that. It looks fun. We'll see. I mean, it's not the type of. I wonder how popular it's going to be because I don't know. Maybe it is in this day and age of how popular games are. Maybe it will have some interest for like the general public. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that is pretty much what's coming up over the next month, 2 months. Some fun stuff that I'm really looking forward to. Definitely looking forward to Picard. That is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. But that is pretty much it for our first episode of 2020 in the future. This is the OMG Hour 2020, Tico.
Okay, so this is happening
in the future.
20 years from now, right?
This is the future of the OMG Hour. Anyway, you can follow the future of the OMG Hour over on Twitter at the OMG Hour. Give us a like, subscribe, and comment. You can follow me everywhere. I am Ziantane, and that is Xiantayne. And if you're not already, check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/OMGNexus.
All right, you can follow me at Mr. Second Place, and don't forget to send us your D.E.A.D recommendations.
Yes, join us for D.E.A.D. You can be an honorary member of the Dungeon Explorers Adventuring Guild department. I can't even remember. Thank you. Yes, that's anyway. It spells dead. That's all I know. All right, thanks everybody. We'll be back again next week.
Bye, guys.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.